Okay, welcome everyone. I want to welcome everyone to the webinar. Thank you for joining and taking the time to spend with me. So thanks once again. We're going to get started right now. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that the sound is good. This is going to be a Magnet 2.0 mini masterclass. All right. And a super sale because this is the last day before our prices go up. All right, Sander, Willie, thank you so much. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, it is possible to lose money trading futures, so please trade carefully. All right. If you need help, if you have questions, if you're confused, you can always reach us, help@10minutetrades.com. I monitor the email all day long, and you can reach us. So please feel free to email. We're going to do a quick, very quick recap of what we are as a company, but 99.9% of what we do here today is going to be Magnet 2.0. We trade the appointment-based trading system. We use the NinjaTrader platform, and we trade futures. We are a NinjaTrader partner, and that means that NinjaTrader checks us out, and they like the way we do things, and they allow us to be associated with them. And that's a good thing. They're a good broker, and we are proud to be a NinjaTrader partner. We're going to do a very, very quick recap. Very quick. Why trade on a schedule? So what is 10-minute trades all about? We trade fast-moving market events. We trade the news. We have 4 elements that make up our system. We use a lot of free tools to help us find the trades that we trade. And that's essentially how we got started. Everything that you see us do, you can trade in prop accounts. Just make sure the prop accounts you're using allow the type of trading that we do. We use Lucid, we use Bullinox. Our members are getting payouts. I show this in many of our trade rooms. One of our members has been nice enough to send me his payout funding. So it is possible trading the way that we trade in a prop account and to get payouts. Right now, I'm working on 3 funded accounts and I'm hoping to get a payout soon. So I'm looking forward to it. We are pretty new to the prop account trading world. Now, we have 4 elements that make up our system: the daily schedule, our daily trade reports, the weekly schedule, daily trade reports, software, and the trade room. Just a quick look at a weekly schedule. We trade on a schedule. We don't ever go into the room randomly. We trade around news. We trade the news, but we're always knowing when we're going to be trading. And our weekly schedule shows you when our trade room is going to be open for activity. Okay? You can get our weekly schedule for free. Just go to our website, www.10minutetrades.com, and request the free video, how to find your own 10-minute trades. That will sign you up for our weekly schedule. Our system, as I said, weekly market mover schedule, daily trade reports, trade room access, and 3 strategies of software: News Trader, Magnet Trade, and the Trap Trade. Those are the software strategies. They install into NinjaTrader. They become a part of the platform. So it's very, very easy to trade our software. Where do we find our trades? There are a variety of free calendars. We use Forex Factory is the gold standard. I still believe that to be true. They have a weekly schedule. You just go to forexfactory.com, click the word calendar, and you can see a week's worth of events. We have vetted all these events over the past 9 years, 10 years that we've been doing this. We know the events to trade. We know how to find new events. We teach you all about trading these events. That's what we do. We use more than one schedule, so it's not just Forex Factory. We also use investing.com and earningswhispers.com to find our earnings trades. All right, Earnings Whispers is a great site. We do We invented a whole method of trading futures with earnings, with major stocks that move the futures. We trade earnings. And come April, earnings season is here. All right. We're getting all geared up for the next earnings season. It's coming. Earningswhispers.com. And then the third and fourth calendar that we love, the fourth calendar, Financial Juice Pro. Excellent, excellent calendar. Anyone who takes news trading seriously should subscribe to their pro version. It has a squawk box in your headset where you could listen to the news results. They have great calendars, great company for helping you trade the news, financialjuice.com, and they have a pro version. We love it. Okay? Another tool. And Thinkorswim for $50. You can open a Thinkorswim account and you can watch stock prices, futures prices, options. It's an excellent, excellent website where for very little money you can watch a tremendous amount of data. And that's very valuable, especially when you're trading events like we do. There's three categories of reports: economic reports, GDP, jobs reports, big company earnings reports, market open and closes. In those categories, there are hundreds and hundreds of events, and those are the events that we trade. Not hundreds of them, but we vet them, we study them, we make sure what are the best ones to trade. Okay? Today we're going to talk about Magnet 2.0. We just released the Magnet 2.0 strategy. We're really proud of this new strategy that installs into NinjaTrader. And obviously you have to understand what is a magnet. So let's throw up a chart real quick. I've got the gold chart thrown up here. I've got the MNQ and I have the RTY. Right now the markets are very bullish. The markets are exploding on hopes of maybe there's going to be an end to this crazy war. But right now the markets are very bullish. What's a magnet? So a magnet is an area on the chart that attracts price. Now it might attract price for a variety of reasons. High of day, low of day, those areas tend to attract prices. There are certain levels on the chart where people put their orders and they all look at the same levels. So you have dozens and dozens and hundreds of orders at the same price levels. That can pull price into those levels. Magnets for us are those levels, but the concept is we exit the trade at the magnet. All right? Very important. We exit the trade at the magnet. We don't enter. We enter before we get there. And I'll show you what I mean. So we have two things we do when we first get into the trade room. We put a magnet on our charts and we put a reverse continuation on our charts. Those are two setups. They're setups that are both included in the magnet strategy. If you have our other software, NewsTrader and or the Trap Trade, the reverse continue is also a separate trade setup that is part of our NewsTrader software. Our NewsTrader software is a strategy that has our three main setups built into it. When I say three main setups, three of the most common setups that we use almost every day: the breakout trade, the range trade, and the reverse continuation. The reverse continuation is a major part of the magnet strategy. It's a major part of news trading. It's a major part to event trading. You're often reversing what you've done when the news is released. After it's released, there's often a result that allows for a reversal so you can make a second setup, another trade after you've had your first trade become profitable. So what do we mean by that? All right, a lot of people don't even understand the way we trade. So let's do this. Let's take a quick look at what happened this morning in the trade room, because one of the things I wanted to make very, very clear today is we're not just magnets. Yes, you could be just a magnet trader and you could do really well. You could only trade our magnet strategy, and I'm telling you, there would be more trades during the day, every day, than you knew what to do with. Because our magnet strategy is not only a test of the magnet, the high of day, the low of day, the VWAP, R1, R3, those are magnets. Those are areas where we exit our trades. But not only is our magnet strategy an exit at those levels, but it's also a signal generating system. Our magnet strategy generates signals. Those signals help you to get back into a trade. Or you could just be a signal trader if you wanted to be. And we have two different methods of trading signals. So I'm going to explain our signal system today, as well as our full-blown magnet system. But it's very important to understand we're not just magnet traders. This morning, we made money with every single setup that we had. We had a great morning. We made $650 in our Lucid prop account. We made $380 in our Bullinox prop account, 35, just a regular prop account. We made over $250 in our funded account. We have 3 funded accounts that we're working on right now. We had a great morning, and almost every setup, every account, we had a different setup this morning. It was just a very interesting morning. But the important thing is understanding that we trade more than one way. And you can decide based on how the markets are, what's going on in the world, what might be the best way to trade. And that's what we teach in our room every day. We teach how to make intelligent decisions over what to trade each day. So let me show you today's open to just show, because there's a lot of people here, and some of you don't even know what I mean when I say we trade the news. So in the morning, we have multiple setups. We have a breakout trade, which is a spike trade, and that's our DNA. That's a trade that when the price explodes, we put an order above the current price, we put an order below the current price, the market open begins, price goes up or it goes down, and we get pulled into the market and it hits our targets. Now, crazily this morning, my chart was on a different account than what I was trading, but you can see what happened. We had a long order and a short order right in the area of the current price. At 9:30, the market exploded to the upside. Both of our targets were hit, and we got out of the trade in about 2 seconds with a winning MNQ open trade, over $125 on the MNQ, and that's like very decent money on a micro, all right? Almost every day of the week, I'd say 80%, we have a winning MNQ trade. 80%. It's rare that we don't have a winning trade in the trade room trading the MNQ. It's an excellent, excellent setup. Let me show you a perfect trade that you can see the orders. Price goes down, it's going to explode through all of our orders. That was a winning trade, both contracts in a funded prop account. Those X's are the orders. The market opens and then it moves the price. We get pulled into the short side and it bursts through both our targets. That was a 3-second winning trade. Also, we have a range trade. That's another one of the setups I just told you about. On the chart all the way to the right, thanks to one of our members who contributed this setup to our market open, we are trading the RTY open every morning. It's a fantastic setup. The RTY is a 5-minute range trade. And we set up a range on the RTY. Let me get the right video so I can show you. We did it this morning. And it hit both our targets in a couple of seconds. So 9:30, this trade takes place. Now, if you notice what happens here, our software is creating a 5-minute range. The line, it puts 4 lines on the chart while it's making the range. 2 inner lines are the range being calculated. The outer lines are actually showing us where the short order is going to be, the line on the downside, and the up line is where the long order is going to be, depending which way the market moves. The market opens and our orders go on the chart exactly at 9:30. Price shot up, it's over. The trade was over. It hit both our orders in an instant. And we made we made exactly $150 instantly. Okay? So virtually an instant winner on the MNQ this morning, the RTY, and then YM, it was not a trade. We just didn't have a trade. We were a little bit too far from all the levels, and we did not have a YM trade initially. But besides magnets, we trade other methods because we have other setups. However, if someone just wanted to trade magnets only, they could do that. So what do I mean again by magnets? A magnet is a test of certain levels. There are certain levels that we built into our software that we consider magnets. When I put a magnet on the gold chart, and I have a magnet right here, when I turn it on, I'm going to put it on sim at the moment, I've got a gold chart, and the magnet strategy can show me on our control panel what levels I can target. I can target the days open. I can target pivots S3, S1, R3, R1, and PP. I can target the VWAP. I can target a scalp, okay, if I want to. And I can target my own level. I can do a custom level and I can create a target for that. So that even if you don't like any of the levels that we trade, which is not possible, most of them you'll love, you can find a level on the chart and you could create your own magnet trade. If, for instance, I want to trade gold at 46.60, I can set up a custom level magnet trade. Let's say 46.80 because price might go there right now. So I'm going to right click the chart. I'm going to highlight our magnet strategy, or let's start from scratch. Let's put the magnet strategy on the chart. So I'm going to double click the magnet strategy. All I need to do is if I want to trade a high of day system, the magnet trade enabled goes to high of day, low of day. All right. I have number of positions I want to trade. I've got a stop size. So maybe I'll make my stop 40 ticks. In other words, when I put the strategy, when I enable or when I click magnet strategy, it opens up an adjustment screen that shows me the inputs that let me adjust my settings. I put these settings into the magnet strategy. So the first thing I tell it is which magnet do I want to trade. Now we're going to make a high of day magnet here, it looks like. So let's say I choose high of day, low of day. A one position trade. Default target is 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. And I'm not even going to set up anything else. I'm just going to label it GC magnet, gold magnet, and I'm going to apply it, okay it, and turn it on. When I turn on the gold magnet, it shows me my orders. All right, these are my orders. That's my orders to the high side. The low side is very far away. If I want to enter a short, you can see it's quite far away. We're not getting to the short side right now. But we could have a long trade. The thick line gets put on the chart when I enable my magnet strategy. All right. That thick line, when I enable a high of day, low of day, it puts my order entry line on the chart. If I hover over the magnet entry box, it shows me the level I'm buying at, 46.8140. That's where that line is. And it shows me on the downside where I'm selling. If I want to automate this trade, I turn it purple. And if price goes through my order line, it'll put me in the market long for a test of this magnet high of the day. And it will exit 3 ticks before it gets to the high, because that's our definition of what a magnet strategy does. There's my entry, target 1, 3 ticks before it gets to the high. My stop is adjustable. Maybe I want my stop below all of this market structure. Maybe I want my stop just below a few candles of upward movement. I'm looking at a variety of things to help me decide if I wanted to put that magnet on automatic. I would be looking at momentum. And I want to tell you how I look at the squeeze, which is one of our momentum indicators. How do I decide if the squeeze is in the right momentum? If the squeeze is moving up light green, that's a bullish squeeze momentum. One thing that we do that many other people don't do is we look for early signals on the squeeze. Below zero, I could still have a bullish setup on the squeeze. And let me show you what I mean. If you look at this setup right here, dark red is negative, light red is bullish, but it's below zero, you say. You don't want to enter there, but I might want to. Once it changes momentum from dark red to light red, I'm now looking at positive, bullish, possible momentum on a squeeze. Look at our magnet trade. I could put my stop to safety, and I don't even have to do anything else. That was almost a $500 trade had you taken that live magnet trade. Now, I wasn't trading live, full transparency, but that I cannot show you any better how a magnet trade works. It went and was pulled right through the high. We also have the ability to add a second target if it goes through the magnet significantly. I can add a second target. Very easy. Right-click the chart. As part of the strategy, I have position 2. I can tell it how many contracts I want it to trade, and I can tell it how many ticks through the magnet I want it to go. 20 ticks, 30 ticks, -2 ticks would be 2 ticks before it gets to the magnet. Okay? So the magnet is possibly a 2-position trade. It's not just a scalp with one contract. It can be 2, and it could be a very intelligent, laid out trade. I'm so happy that happened, because it shows everyone a perfect magnet without me having to show you a million videos. That is the perfect magnet. How does it differ if you're trading the VWAP? So there's the VWAP, right? I can target the VWAP, but we're going to get to targeting in a second. Let's backtrack just for a minute and just talk about, let me go back to my slides for a second, because I want to make sure I cover everything. So if you notice, obviously, chart setup is going to be very important on magnet trades. So let's get to that section here. So I've explained what a magnet is. A magnet is an exit at a certain level on the chart that we call a magnet. And those levels are pivots, VWAPs, high of day, low of day, and any level that you want to type in as a custom magnet. And I'll still show you how to do that. News trading charts. You want your charts, at least one of your trading charts, to look just like ours. The indicators that we put on our charts are the following: the current day, open, high, low, pivots, S1, S3, R1, R3, PP, the central pivot, the current high of day, low of day, and the previous market open at 6 p.m. That's a pivot we trade also. Other indicators that are critically important: the squeeze, the net change display, and then you should have volume also on all your charts. To set up your charts exactly like ours is actually very easy, and it only takes about 15 or 20 minutes, tops. Tops. It's very easy. And I'm not going to spend any time doing it today because we solved the problem of spending 20 minutes. First of all, quickly, I'll show you how to download Magnet for everybody who's brand new. It's so simple. And then with our Magnet software, we include Magnet 2.0 chart template. That chart template solves the problem of having to set up your charts. You just copy and paste our template into your NinjaTrader template chart area, and you can just load the template onto any chart in 2 seconds. All right. To download the software, you have two choices. If you're a member, you can go to our website and download the software. Members, just log in. It's not complicated, obviously. And I'm going to actually show you all the website because I never show the website. This is our member website. You just go to NewsTrader software, download NewsTrader, download Magnet 2.0 software, Magnet 2.0 manual, Magnet 2.0 chart template, the trap trade, and the NewsTrader software. So you have 5 files that get downloaded. All right. Today we're just going to download Magnet 2.0. The template I've already downloaded. All right. When you click on it, don't worry about all the files that show up in the middle. They mean nothing. Just click the little arrow. It's a Google Drive file. You click the little arrow. That's the download arrow. And you get a message. Here's your zip file. It's your Magnet software. The last number in the file is the version number. So it's version 21. That's our current version right now. You only need to know where your downloads go on your computer. Most people's downloads go to the download folder or to the last place you saved a downloaded file or a file. So you just have to find the file that you downloaded. It's not that big a deal. Then inside your NinjaTrader, right? Inside your NinjaTrader, let's get there. You're going to install that file. Tools, import, NinjaScript add-on. It's going to open up a dialog, and that dialog is going to have a bunch of files, and you got to find the file number 21, MagnetTrade.21. Double click open, and it will install it into NinjaTrader. Okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, assuming you've also downloaded our template file, the template file gets placed in a very specific area. You're going to click Documents, the document folder, okay? Then you're going to click NinjaTrader 8. Then you're going to click Templates. Then you're going to click Chart. And you're going to copy the template into this folder. We give you all these instructions. Then you go back to your NinjaTrader, and I just want to remind everybody, every week, at least once a week, make sure you back up your NinjaTrader. We have a million webinars where we show you exactly how to do it. It takes 1 second. You just go to Tools. You go to Export. You go to Tools, Export, Backup File. Before you do that, make sure you close all your connections, okay? Any live connections must be closed. So you go to connections, close your live connections, go to tools, export, backup file, check everything, and then click export. It'll then open a dialog, save it. Do yourself a favor, click downloads on the left. It'll save it into your download folder, and then all your downloads will go into your download folder. That's all you have to do to download, to create a backup. It's a great idea to back up once a week at least. I always back up before I'm installing a new software program in case something goes wrong. You don't need tech support. You could just reinstall your backup. All right, so we've downloaded the template. We've downloaded and installed the software. After you install the software, make sure that you reboot your NinjaTrader platform. You just start it up. You close it and start it up. You have to do that after you download software, any strategy. Okay? Now, you're just going to go New, go to Chart. It opens a dialog. Create a new chart. Any chart that you like to trade is going to be a great magnet chart, I promise. Every instrument has magnets. That's why we love magnets so much. Choose a chart. The only thing you want to be certain of is trading hours. Make sure it says use instrument settings. It's default, so it should. Days to load, no more than 5. That's default, so you should be perfectly fine just okaying everything. I've now got a brand new chart, but there's nothing on it. Now I'm going to right click the chart, templates, load Magnet 2.0, our template that you installed in the chart template folder. All our indicators are now on your chart. All you have to do is shrink things a little bit. So we're going to hold the left mouse button and shrink the price to the left a little bit. Left mouse button, hold it down. We're going to shrink our chart. Okay. Left mouse button on the indicator. We're going to shrink everything. I now have charts perfectly set up for magnet trading. Those are my charts. Every indicator that we use is installed into that template. As long as you install it properly, everything that we use will be there. If you right click the chart, click on indicator, you've got the net change display, the pivots, volume up and down, current day, open, high, low, squeeze, VWAP, okay? Everything is there. You have to configure the VWAP if you're a lifetime NinjaTrader user and you want to use their order flow VWAP. Our software supports 2 VWAPs in the magnet. Assuming you're going to use their order flow VWAP, okay, what you want to do is configure it. Make sure that that's the one that's on your chart. Go to order flow VWAP, double click it. That will install the NinjaTrader VWAP. And standard deviation bands, STD dev bands, change 3 to none. That's the only thing you have to do, and you now have a configured VWAP to trade if you're a NinjaTrader lifetime owner. If you're not a lifetime owner, we do include a VWAP that works perfectly, and it's part of the template. And I'll show you how you decide which VWAP you can use. So if you right-click your chart and you put a magnet trade on your chart, you click strategy, click the word magnet strategy, it puts the magnet strategy on your chart. When you scroll down to indicators, the VWAP selection is either 10MT or order flow VWAP. Both of them work exactly the same. It doesn't matter which one you use, but it is important to have a VWAP because it's a tremendously popular level to trade. Okay, so the VWAP, one of our favorite magnets. It's my second favorite magnet trade. My first favorite, highs and lows. Those are the best magnets, in my opinion. But everyone's different. If you like Fibonacci's and you want to use custom magnets, I'm sure that you could easily put your favorite magnet level on any chart. It's easy to do. Let's say you hate all of our magnets and you want to target 4660 on gold right here. 4660. That would be a custom level because it doesn't exist in our list of magnets. Maybe you think price is going there, 4660. So what do? Highlight the magnet strategy. At the very top, you're going to choose manual entry price and then custom level. What did we say it was? 4660. So you just type in that level, 4660. And now you set up your trade. How many positions? One position. What's the target? 3 ticks before it gets to the custom level. The most important thing to remember when you program a custom level, position 1 target type should say custom level if it's a custom level. Okay? Don't forget that. If you want a 2 position trade, then position 2 gets a value, and that's how many contracts you have. Targets, default target 1 is 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. So -3 is our target 1. Target 2 is however much you want for price to go through the magnet. If you think the price is going to blast through the magnet hundreds of ticks, then you could make target 2 100 ticks. If you think it's just going to test the high or the low or the level you're trading, you could put 10 ticks and you'll get target 1, and then target 2 will be an additional 10 more ticks. It'll really be 13 because remember, our first target is 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. So it's 3 ticks to the magnet plus your 10. You're really going to get 13 ticks out of that. And then you put your stop in, and that's it. It's really simple. It's really simple. If you're going to just trade a scalp, which you're better off doing it with the reverse continuation setup, but you can trade and target a scalp in the magnet by targeting the magnet entry price of ticks. If you just target ticks, then you use target 1 ticks and target 2 ticks as your targets. So instead of using position target type, target 2 ticks offset, instead of using target 1 tick offset and target 2 tick offset, if you are targeting ticks, there's an extra area here where you put your targets. Most of the time, it's so much easier to just do it through the reverse continue, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. You don't even have to think about that. But it is built into the software. We have a lot of features built into the software, and not all of them will you use. What happens sometimes when we develop a system? In the beginning, we add features that when we're done with the strategy, we've obsoleted sometimes. But you don't want to take features out because there's always someone that might want to do something different than the way that you do it, differently than the way you do it. So it is just another way to scalp from inside the magnet. Anyway, when you're creating a custom level that is specific, like 4660 for instance, the thing to remember is your position 1 target should be on custom level, and your trade setup is exactly like it would be for the high of day setup, for the VWAP setup. This whole first area controls all of the targeting setup. Okay, and I'll talk about what I mean about targeting in a minute. We also have a little bit of simple indicator configuration. Momentum length on the squeeze should always be 17, and the squeeze length should always be 20. Don't change those. They stay the same when you're trading magnets. Now, you notice when you turn on a magnet, right? I disconnected all my connections, so let me reconnect my data. When you turn on a magnet, there we go, all my data is connected. When you turn on a magnet, you have to enable it. When I say turn on, I mean enable. It means you click on the enable button in the control panel. If you want to trade with the magnet buttons, the control center buttons, then you need to program the buttons. Remember what I said? What's the first thing we do when we first get to a trade room? We put a magnet on the chart and we put a reverse continuation on the chart. So I right click my chart, I click the word strategy. I have, if I want to put a reverse continuation on the chart, I have to have my NewsTrader software installed because that's where I'm getting the reverse continuation setup. So I double click NewsTrader. I changed the trade type to reverse continuation, and watch how fast I can program a reverse continuation trade. I just need one position and one contract. That's default. I need a target. Maybe I want a 30-tick target, and I should have an intelligent stop. It's gold. Let's make a 40-tick stop. I'm going to scroll down. I don't need to adjust everything that can be adjusted because most inputs are default. They don't need to be touched. We teach you which inputs you want to change or might want to change. We choose the account we're trading. We're going to leave everything on sim for the moment. And we label every trade. So this is a GC, a gold, reverse continue. Why do we label every trade? Apply it and okay it, and the setup goes onto our control panel. And it has a label. And it shows up under strategy. GC reverse continue, and I have a GC magnet. All right? That's what I've got going right now on this one chart. When I turn the magnet on, I don't have the ability, all right? I don't have the ability to trade the reverse continuation unless I program these two buttons. These two buttons are always available for a reverse continuation trade. So I have two ways to trade a reverse continuation trade. One, by using the regular Magnet Trade software. Two, I use my NewsTrader software to put the reverse continuation setup on the chart. It's the exact same trade. The setup is whatever you want it to be. And they're the same way of doing something with a different strategy. We wanted the magnet strategy to have the ability to do reverse continuations because it's a very important setup. Every day we use it in the trade room over and over and over and over. Constantly use it. If you use the magnet strategy to set up the buttons, it's so easy. So remember how I set up the reverse continue with gold? All I did was set up one position, one contract, a 30-tick target, and a 40-tick stop. That was it. That was the whole trade. And then remember I labeled it and I chose the account I was trading it in. Apply it and okay it. and then it shows up on the control panel and it's labeled GC reverse continue. And that's why we label trades. When I do a reverse continue inside the magnet, I have to set up the buttons. So when I press the button, it'll execute the trade properly. So I click the word strategy, I highlight the magnet, and I go down to reverse continue. REV continue. Position 1, how many contracts do I want? Let's say I want 2. I can trade up to 3 positions. That means I could have up to 3 targets. That means I could also move my stop automatically. All right. All of our normal trading features are inside the reverse continue. That's part of the magnet strategy. It's a very powerful reverse continue trade. But really, all you ever need for a reverse continue is one position and the number of contracts, a target, let's say 40 tick target, and a stop, let's say a 40 tick stop. That's a full-blown trade. It's programming the buttons inside my magnet strategy. Apply it, okay it. Now when I turn on the magnet, if I were to take this trade by pressing the long button, it'll put me in the market long immediately with a 40 tick target and a 40 tick stop. Or short the same way. So I take a short here, and I'm just showing you it executed the trade. I had 2 contracts, and it's executed properly. All right, if I want to exit the trade, I could just wait for the trade to finish working or not working. I could move my stop super close so it takes me out of the trade as soon as possible. Or I could see that I already have a profit. Look how fast gold moves. Now I don't have a profit. That's gold for you. But you just, manage it like a normal trade. So for now, I'm going to just close it, and I'm done with that trade. And it made money, believe it or not. That's funny. So I can trade a reverse continue from inside the magnet strategy by turning on the magnet strategy and using the reverse continue button, long or short. I wanted to show you how to create that custom level. Let's say 46.85 is where I think the price is going. 46.85, custom level. Right-click the chart, strategies, highlight the magnet. Manual entry price at the top gets chosen. Type in 46.85. I'm already programmed 1 position, 3 tick target. That's all I want at the moment. All right, 3 ticks before it gets to the level, and I'll explain in a second with a 40 tick stop. Apply it. Make sure you choose your account. I'm in Sim. All right, choose your account. And this is part of our magnet. Apply it and OK it. When I turn on the magnet, my order line is going to show up at the custom level. That's my exit. But I'm going to move my order line for an entry before I get to the magnet, right? For ease of use, we put the order line at the level you're going to exit. Everyone knows you're going to adjust your order line above or below the magnet. The magnet was 46.85. If it was 46.80, we'd have a line at 46.80, and our order line can be moved anywhere we want. So if price comes down and goes through my order line, that's where I get filled on the short side to test 46.85. If price goes against me, nothing happens. I don't have a trade. If I want to automate the trade, we have a magnet entry button. The magnet entry button has multiple purposes. It shows us our order entry and our target. Our exit is 4685.30. 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. You starting to follow this, right? 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. And then our entry is wherever the line is located, all right? The software tracks that. That's how you trade a custom level. If the price goes your way and it goes through the order entry line, the magnet entry button will blink purple and make a musical sound. If you press the button while it's blinking purple, it will execute the trade. If you want to automate the trade, maybe I think price is going to 4,700. So I'll uncheck the magnet, set up a different custom level, highlight the magnet, 4,700. I can leave everything in default, 1 position, 3 ticks before it gets there, 40 tick stop, etc., right? Default, apply it, turn it on. Now my magnet is 4,700. We're going up to 4,700, so I put my order below it. Do I want it to be automated? Press the button, make it purple. If price goes through my line, it'll fill me. And that's how I trade custom levels. It's easy as pie. If I want it automated, I just press the magnet entry button, turn it purple, and automate it. I love coming into the room and I love trading high of day, low of day. That's my favorite. But very often, high of day, low of day might not be available. You might only have a custom level. Look at gold today. We've got a lot of distance between the levels. So right now, we've made our high of day. You saw the high of day magnet. It was a winning, beautiful trade. But now we don't have another high of day magnet really available. It's been making new highs while we're here. So you might want to consider something else rather than more highs of days. It may become exhausted. You don't want to get caught trying to test the high after the market's becoming exhausted. One sign of exhaustion is when the squeeze, like it's doing now, changes momentum. Look how we have a momentum change on the squeeze. Do you all see that? It's dark. It went from light to dark. That's a downward momentum change. If I turn the magnet on, we're going to get a signal. Our ARS signal system, look at that. We got a signal to take a short at the low of day. Sorry, at the high of day momentum change. That's what our signals do. So we have what we call, let me go back, let me stop for a second, and I was going to say I'll go back to the slides, but let me explain the signal first. Why was a signal generated? Now, there are built-in things you cannot see that generate signals, but about 80% of our signal generation is created in 2 ways. We have a standalone signal system called ARS Now. ARS standalone. And when you put it on standalone, it generates signals in any direction without testing of any levels. When you are trading high of day, low of day, or you're targeting various levels, you will get a signal when a test of the high of day or low of day reverses or the VWAP reverses. In this instance, what happened here? We got a test of the high of day and we have gotten changes in momentum on the squeeze. It generated a short signal. Okay. You can only put up custom levels from inside the software. James, that'll be in an update. to be able to put up a custom level on the control panel. I've thought of that also as a great update. I'd like to be able to do everything outside of the inputs, if you know what I'm saying. I would rather be able to add a specific price to the control panel. So I'll talk to the program about that next version. But notice we got these signals because we made new highs. We finally exhausted the new high, got momentum change, and two signals were actually generated. The first one, it's a green candle. I wouldn't have taken it. I'm not taking shorts on green candles generally. It's just not something I do. Doesn't mean you can't. But I want to take my short signals when I've got downward momentum. All right? That's one of the main things I want to do. So, and look how this was a tremendous winning signal already. You know, we weren't trading, but if you look at the ruler, the signal came pretty early. It's not done working. It's already 70 ticks. It's a $700 signal. The stop would have been reasonably large because it was not sitting right on the high of day. Would have been a pretty big stop, probably a 50 tick stop, roughly. All right. Not unusual for gold, though. Gold is very volatile. The idea, if you're testing the high of day, low of day, your stop should go 10 ticks at least above the high of day or below the low if you're testing lows. I don't want no signals right at the high or right at the low where all the newbies put their stops. You don't want to be taken out of all your trades with all the newbie traders. You want to last longer than they will because you're smarter than them. Okay? Keep that in mind. If a newbie is doing something, don't you be doing it the same way if you can avoid it. So, very simple. When you're testing a high of day trade and you get a reversal signal, the stop goes above the high of day, low of day, minimum 10 ticks. Okay, that's my recommendation. If I wanted to target other areas, let's say I just came into the trade room, you know, I've got my two setups on the chart, I've got my scalp for the instant long, instant short, I've got my reverse continue. I can take a reverse continue two ways, I've explained that, right? If you get a signal, you'll notice the ARS Now button turns green. So you got to make sure that you configure your ARS button. So how do I configure the ARS button? Right-click the chart, click Strategy, highlight the magnet, scroll down, ARS Management. The signal is a two-position trade. Position 1, whatever contract number you want. Position 2, and then you just put in your target. Target 1, how many ticks? Target 2, how many ticks? How big do you want your stop? Once that's programmed, right? Let's say I have a 30 tick target and a 50 tick stop. Apply it and OK it. Now, when the magnet is turned on, my next signal will turn the ARS Enter Now button green, and I can trade that signal by pressing the ARS Enter Now button. What I like to do is just use my reverse continue. I'm constantly using my reverse continue, long or short, all through the morning. It's the easiest way to scalp safely. It's the easiest way to trade a signal. It's the easiest way to create a magnet without setting up a magnet. Like, for instance, if you get into the room and price is moving up like it's doing now, and it's moving fairly quickly and you want to jump into a trade, do a quick reverse continuation, throw it on the chart, and then if I want to take a quick long, I can just press instant long, move my target towards the high of day, move my stop big enough, right? And I've got a poor man's magnet without programming the whole strategy. There's so many ways you can use the reverse continue creatively. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how many different ways you can use it. So that's why I tell everybody when you get to the room, put a magnet and a reverse continue on every chart. That way, if an opportunity arrives that you see, you always have the ability to trade it. The beauty with discretionary setups is you don't have to take them unless you want to. So you're only putting a setup on the chart. You're not automatically trading it unless you think it's going to give you a good opportunity. All right. So I've got that reverse continue on the chart. Maybe I didn't have time to set up that magnet, but look at gold starting to pop, right? So I want to make sure my stop is below all this little market structure here. Maybe we'll get another test to the high. And look how fast I was able to get going. It only takes about a minute to set up a reverse continue, and there's no difference between them. No difference other than some different features that are available inside the magnet. But there's no difference. A reverse continue is a reverse continue no matter how you trade it. All right? Let's go back to our slides for a second. So I've shown you how to install the template. I've talked about how we generate the squeeze signals, right? Does everyone understand how a squeeze signal is created? This is very important, so let me go over it one more time. Because they are generated in two distinctly different ways. One way, look at the squeeze to help you. When the squeeze is going up, 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 and it changes direction, that will generate an ARS standalone signal. When it then goes the other way and starts to go up from a down, it will generate another signal in ARS mode. Okay, if I turn on ARS mode, let me show you. How do I turn it on? Bottom line, ARS standalone. You get a lot of signals. Why do you get so many signals? Because every time the squeeze changes direction, it'll give you a signal. Now, trust me when I say there are other things that make up our signal generator, but that's probably about 80% of what gives a signal. So you can comfortably watch the squeeze and predict when you're going to get signals, okay? Your best signals are going to be in the direction of the trend when you're taking standalone signals, and in the direction of the new reversal when you're taking VWAP and high of day signals, okay? There is a way to get less signals because we have filtering built in. In our instruction manual on the magnet trade, there's a page and a half on using our AI filters. That truly is beta, okay? Keep in mind, this little section of the magnet is extra filtering, and it's just under, where is it? ARS filters. We have a structural stall filter, a pullback filter, and a high of day, low of day filter. I'm not going to explain how to use all of them here. It would take too long. But when you put them on, you will see, especially in ARS mode, there will be less signals. Now, it if you're in a very volatile market, there's another way to even filter more. First of all, you can try putting all the filters on. That will give you your strongest level of filtering. Turn it back on. Man, not a big difference today, but some days it will be a very big difference. I have another way of filtering that I think is actually better. All right. So I'm going to turn off all of our extra filtering, and I'm going to show you something else. I never can find my filter. Where is it? Oh, you have to make sure you highlight the magnet. That's the key. Highlight the magnet. ARS filters, they're off. All right. Like I said, there is a very good explanation of filtering in the manual. But there's another way to filter. If you notice, in the aftershock reversal section, there's something called proximity ticks and trending bars. This is important. Proximity ticks is very simple. My personal philosophy when I designed this software was, what is a test of a magnet? If a magnet is the value 25, does the market have to get to 25 to be a true test? Well, I believe it only has to get to 22 or 28. If it's coming down to 25, 28 is a test for me. That's 3 ticks. That's what proximity ticks means. Don't forget, if you hover the mouse over the input names, it will describe them. Okay? It will describe them. But right below proximity ticks is a really valuable filter. Trending bars. Trending bars will add filtering. So, and again, it's not 100% just bars. There are other things built into our software to help generate the signals intelligently, okay? But with trending bars, if you up the number of bars that need to test for a momentum change in a row, that will filter signals. Let's see if it helped. It did reduce the signals by about in half. That's my favorite way to filter. Now, I'm not going to go 8 on trending bars, but 2 or 3 instead of 1 is a dramatic reduction in extra signals that might be occurring in a very choppy market. Okay? So the proximity, I believe 3 ticks away from the magnet is a valid magnet. But trending bars is just to help you. I'm making it a 3 now. It helps us get better signals. All right? Notice the signals are really reduced when it's 3. They also are really good signals because they tend to occur in these beautiful formations that we like to see of, a collection of bars in the same direction, and then maybe a collection of bars in the opposite direction, rather than consolidation bars. Let me find some for you. Some days you just get great signals all day long, but some days you get kind of crappy consolidation bars. Today was not a consolidation bar day on gold. Let me look at a different instrument real quick. But what I mean when I say consolidation bars, would be up here, down there, 2 ups, 3 downs, not consistent bars of the same color. When you get, or very small bars that keep changing direction, I think you know what we mean when we say the market's consolidating. That was a comment made about the war. But notice when trending bars is 3, if you're a patient person, trending bars 3 is a great signal trader. Okay? A great signal trader. Because I tend to know when signals are going to be generated, because look, I helped design this software. I don't do a lot of filtering. I like to watch all the signals, and because I often know when not to take the bad ones. But you'll get there also. You'll learn when not to take the bad ones after you keep watching signals. 2 is excellent also, okay? The default is 1. But that's how our signals are generated. And when you turn on the magnet strategy, you have the power to tell the software, generate VWAP signals, or generate high of day, low of day signals, or generate both. Highlight the strategy, and then scroll down. After shock reversal, high of day signals check, VWAP signals check, right above proximity and trending bars. When those are both checked, it'll generate both sets of signals when we're testing those levels. If you're not testing those levels, those signals don't get generated. And then remember, you can also trade the ARS system standalone by just turning it on. ARS standalone, turn it on. When everything is off, everything is not actually off. When the choice is off, what off does is, let's say you came in to trade high of day, low of day. Remember, it keeps your order on the chart, right? For high of day, low of day. That's where you're going to get filled. So that order stays on the chart until you turn off high of day, low of day mode. When you turn it off, the orders go away, but the software will still generate high of day, low of day signals and or VWAP if you're near and had just tested the VWAP. All right. Let's talk quickly about targeting. We've done targeting in every webinar, and it's very easy. Just remember, every target trade is controlled inside the magnet software at the very top. At the very top. So if I come into the trade room and I set up my high of day, low of day magnet, and the proximity is 3. The proximity just puts the orders this close to the magnet level. 3 is closer than 10, is closer than 20. It's just a number that puts the order bar on the chart X close to the high of day, low of day. All right, the proximity is nothing to worry about because you're going to move your orders anyway. So the default is 3. It puts the orders pretty close to the high of day. Look what I mean. Turn on the magnet, high of day, low of day. If the proximity is a 10, look at the line, all right? If the proximity is a 10 and not a 3 or a 20, I'll make it a 20. Look at what happens when the proximity is a 20. You wouldn't want it to be a 20. It would be silly. Look where the magnet shows up. Very far away, okay? So all the proximity does is put your order line which you're going to move most of the time anyway. So the reason we leave it at a 3 is because it keeps the order line out of the way. That's all. It just keeps it out of the way. It's convenient. So 3 makes sense. All your trade management is in this very top level of the software. If I'm targeting VWAP, my trade setup is here. The default target 1 is always 3 ticks before it gets to the VWAP. If I'm trading PP, this is my setup, 3 ticks before it gets there. All right? Just remember that. That's your trade setup. You don't have to worry about any other trade setups except for the ARS button. I showed you how to program that. And or if you use the reverse continue inside the magnet. I showed you how to program that. You could set up a generic magnet setup where you go through everything one time at the beginning of one day, right? And we've done this in the trade room. We set up a high of day, low of day. Proximity is 3. Position 1, -3. Target, -3 is default. You leave it alone. Do you want to trade 2 positions? You might have a bigger target, 50 ticks, 30 ticks, right? Put in a reasonable stop, 40 ticks. Scroll down, program your buttons. Position 1, 30 tick target. Stop, 50 ticks. Target 2, 60 ticks. Okay, so I'm programming all the buttons. I'm going to program my reverse continue. Position 1, 1 contract. Target 1, 40 ticks. Stop of 40. That's a full-blown trade. 1 position, 1 target, 1 stop. So I've programmed both buttons, the ARS button, if there's a signal, the built-in reverse continue if there's a signal, and now I could save that as a template. If I'm on gold, we're calling it GC magnet, okay? But I can go to template, save it, and I could call it generic magnet. Then in the morning, I could load that template in, and I have a fully configured magnet trade. You will sometimes have to adjust it when you change instruments. If you're trading micros, you'd probably have a bigger stop than if you're trading full-size instruments. But essentially, that's how you have a complete magnet strategy pre-set up and can be loaded in as a template before you start trading. That way, if you get all excited and by accident you press the ARS enter now button when it turns green because you got a signal, you'll have a reasonably intelligent trade that won't stop you out instantly because it's not set up properly. Okay? That's why you might want to program some things in advance. So if you do something wrong or in excitement, you won't get hurt by losing money because your buttons weren't programmed. Okay? Let me go back to my slides, make sure I don't forget anything. So you know how I read the squeeze. You know how signals are generated. Okay? You know the difference between a custom level and a regular level. Let me show you the final best part of the magnet. Auto targeting. That's the whole point of us designing the new version. So if you're not trading the high of day, low of day, let's say you're trading the high of day, low of day. Right now, in the market, somebody comes out and tweets, we're bombing New York City. The market's going to crash and your VWAP is going to get tested. I want to change my targeting to the VWAP. I don't want to do the high of day. Look how easy it is to program the VWAP, to target the VWAP. That's the VWAP. That's the high of day. That was my order for the high of day, right? I go to high of day, low of day, change it to manual entry. The line below it, target, put it on VWAP. Take my order line and bring it down to the VWAP. Put it where I want to enter before we get to the VWAP. That's my trade. If price gets to this line, it's going to put me in the trade, right? And the target is 3 ticks away from the VWAP. If I want to target the R1, I'm already on manual entry price. Target R1. Move my order down to R1 or almost to R1 where I want to enter before I get to the magnet. R1 is the magnet. It's my exit. Don't forget, the magnet is always your exit. That's how you target. It's so easy. You can check your target in the box. I'm targeting 458.99, and that's exactly where it is. And I'm entering where the line is. Okay? The line is my entry. If I move it, it changes in the box. The target is 3 ticks to the R1 right now, because that's where I'm targeting. If I target the VWAP, I can check it's changed. All right? And it works properly. It's nice to see where you're going. All right? Very easy to target automatically different levels. If you want the trade to be automatic, turn the magnet entry button purple and make sure it says auto mode. And then when price gets there, it'll put you in the trade. If the price gets here, it's going to put me in that trade short. Okay? It might get there, it might not. Okay? Everybody understand targeting? See? And it's targeting the VWAP. That's where my target is. You wouldn't normally target from so far away in most cases, but you could if you wanted to. All right? You can do almost anything you want with this magnet. It's really powerful. It's really, really powerful. Okay, everybody. I want to make a very important offer to everyone because tonight the prices are going up. So I want to go to this area in my slides. And the reason I'm here today, obviously, was Magnet 2.0. Are there any questions? Does everybody understand everything about what we're talking about? Is there anything that I haven't covered that you're confused about? Now's the time to ask. Okay? So, we've done this fantastic upgrade. We've been working months on it. New features. It is safer for news trading, without a doubt. The new improved automation. All the new levels. VWAP, high of day. High of day is not new. VWAP is new automated. Pivot, S1, S3. Market open, that's a new target. Central pivot, PP. All of those, new auto targets. And all of our signals, new targets. All right, new way to trade. Don't forget, like we talked about when I showed you all of our winning trades in our trade room this morning, we are more than just the market open. We are more than just magnets. We trade many different setups, okay? And we have excellent, excellent setups. Earnings, magnets, news trades, breakouts, reversals, all part of our software strategies. I've shown again and again and again over the past weeks specifically how these magnet strategies are fantastic to trade. Can you trade opens? I've shown you market opens with the magnet strategy. We trade the YM all the time with the magnet strategy. Middle chart, magnet YM. Most mornings we get a very nice market open trade with the YM. There it is. Happens at least 3 times a week, I would say. Constantly getting market opens, news trades with magnets, all sorts of great magnet trading. You know you can trade news. Today we had just a random magnet because gold was bullish. But plenty of times the news will come out and then it'll make a new high. How many times do you see that happen? News will come out and then the market right away makes a new high. You can set up your magnet for right after the news is released and then turn it on to take advantage of trading around the news. It's a fantastic way to trade. Can you trade in a prop account? I've shown you webinar after webinar. Our members are getting payouts. So look, here's the deal, everybody. Our prices are absolutely going up tomorrow. Our membership and our trade room price is going from $97 a month to $197. And today's the last day to take advantage of our pricing. You can join us for all our upcoming news and earnings and magnet trade rooms, all of our trade rooms, full-blown pro membership, software, all 3 strategies, our daily trade reports. We send our trade reports the day before the event. Obviously, you're a full-blown trade room member. Become a part of a community with people that share setups and trades and smartness. It's great. Very intelligent people. Take advantage of the new magnet strategy. Same membership, same access, but the price is doubling. So if you're thinking about joining, now is the time, everyone. It really is. We could sell this strategy setup for $1,000 easily. In fact, we sell lifetime memberships in magnet software for more than $1,000. But we have an awesome deal for everybody before the prices go up. 6 months of our pro membership. That's not just the trade room, but everything for $497. Go to www.magnetstrats.com. It'll open up this window. And there's also a super bonus if you want to extend yourself for a year. Extra $400 and you have a year in the room with software, everything. That's a great price because that would be more than $1,600 at the regular prices. So what's included for 6 months? All of our software strategies, the trap trade, the magnet 2.0, breakout, spike trades, earnings trades, range trades, everything. We teach you how to do it. That's the key. We're teaching you how to do it in the trade room. But the deal's expiring tonight at midnight. Tonight at midnight. I'm not going to be emailing this $497 deal anymore after today. That's the honest truth. These prices are ending. 6 months included, of course, Magnet 2.0 is included with our signal system, and we have all these bonuses. Magnet 1.0 Masterclass, and of course I will include this 2.0 mini Masterclass. We covered probably about 70% of what the Magnet 2.0 can do, so we'll definitely include this Magnet class in the bonus, okay? And I'll include all of our challenge videos from the last Magnet challenge that just ended. That's even more going over how to use the strategy. You'll get our 10-minute trade quick start videos, and then of course 6 months of trade room, DMMs, all software licenses, everything. Membership area. If you need help, email us, help@10minutetrades.com. It's literally easily over $8,000 worth of stuff. $497. It's a great opportunity. If you really like the magnet strategy, if you're not a member now, you really should learn. It's only a couple of trades that will pay for this whole deal. Some people could pay for the whole deal in one trade. It's $497. That's not a fortune. That's not a lot of money to invest in yourself. You get all of our strategies. The magnet will teach you the appointment-based trading method, will teach you the best events to trade. Everybody made money in our trade room trading the quarterly grains today. We traded everybody. There wasn't a single person that didn't make money. And it wasn't a magnet trade. All right? It was a breakout today because that's what it was. We know what to do and when to do it. Everybody made money on the quarterly grains trade, including us. We made money in our funded account and we made money in a prop account. Over $350 in our prop, and it was, I think, 130 in our funded account. But it was a winning trade, and it was pretty stress-free. We had a good setup. We waited to get filled, and then we just managed the trade, and it was stress-free. It was not a very scary trade. Some trades can be scary. The price went up, and it let us make a profit. It was not that big a deal. We teach you how to do all of this. I guide you step by step in all of our trade rooms as you learn to become a pro member. But I'm already a member. What if you're already a member and you have a monthly membership? Well, we'll turn off the monthly membership and you can get 6 months much cheaper. Even if you're paying the old price, this is way cheaper. So it's a great deal, even if you're a member. We'll turn off your monthly. You don't have to we want you to have the best price. And we'll turn off your monthly after the month is over. We're not going to cheat you out of 2 or 3 weeks if you have 2 or 3 weeks left. So if you sign up today, we'll extend your current membership by 6 months. Everything that you get, I've said it 10 times. We teach you everything, how to create a schedule, earnings. Next, I'm telling you, earnings is starting in like 2 weeks. It's going to be a big earnings season because the world's nuts. Everything's going to be volatile. There's going to be more opportunity than ever. And you get all of that in the pro membership for a crazy price, $497. Magnetstrats.com, www.magnetstrats.com. But we take all the risk, all right? If you're really worried and you don't think it's going to work, we have 2 guarantees. My bend over backwards guarantee, which is just come into the trade room. I'll help you every day if you need help. If you can't figure something out, come into the trade room so I can show everybody. Because if you're confused, maybe other people are confused, but I guarantee I'll show you how to do it in the trade room. And then you won't be confused. And then guarantee number 2 is our 3-month money-back action guarantee. Spend 3 months working with us in the trade room live, in the live trade room. Real money, cash, prop, or simulation. I don't care what you trade. Just really come into the trade room 3 times a week for the next 3 months. Okay? And here's the deal. Keep a journal of your trades. And if you don't love everything at the end of 3 months, send us the journal and a note and we'll give you a full refund. So all the risk is on us. Current members, add to your existing subscription. And then I also have a bonus for lifetime members. If you're a lifetime software member, email me, help@10minutetrades.com, because I have a special offer for lifetime software members only. Okay, but we want to thank our lifetime software members. But you got to email me for that. help@10minutetrades.com. Okay? And that includes full trade room, full DMMs. You don't need the software, okay? You have the software. But if you are regular members and you're not lifetime, which most everybody is, you're monthly or quarterly, right? This is a better deal. So www.magnetstrats.com is a good deal. We will allow, but here's the thing, we're not going to punish you. Here's the thing, we're a very honest company. If you have a monthly membership, it's $97 and you keep it going. You keep that price. We're not raising your price if you keep your subscription. So if you don't want to do anything and save money, you don't want to save money, that's okay. Maybe you don't have the $497 and you just can afford $97 right now. I don't see how, if you're a monthly member, you should be making money with us, but let's say you just don't want to do it. Keep your $97 a month, and it stays $97 a month forever if you stay forever. But if you take advantage of this, we're not going to cancel your monthly. We're going to pause it. So you could spend a year at the great deal, right? Because it's a good deal. No matter what, it still saves you money over the regular monthly price. And then when it's over in a year, we'll turn your monthly back on for $97. We're not going to raise your price, okay? You're grandfathered in until you end your subscription. For any reason, if the subscription ends, that's when new prices take effect for you, all right? So, two options. Do nothing. Don't take a leap of faith, even though we have a guarantee. Keep doing what you've been doing. Or make a small investment in yourself and become a 2.0 Pro member. It's worth it. All right? Where do you get NinjaTrader? If you're not a NinjaTrader user, they have a free NinjaTrader, ninjatrader.com. You just download the platform. Okay? You don't even have to pay these days for NinjaTrader. This is not option in stock trading. We require NinjaTrader and our software if you want to take advantage of this. Okay? If you have questions, please email me today, help@10minutetrades.com. How do you get coaching and support in the trade room? By other members in the trade room. Or email me, help@10minutetrades.com. I'll probably tell you to come into the trade room. Okay? That's being honest. What if you have trouble installing the software? I'll show you how to do it. It's easy. Just come into the trade room. It takes 10 minutes. It's easy. And we also have step-by-step videos. I have dozens of videos. Check out our YouTube channel. There's so much info on there. 10-minute trades, just go YouTube. Ton of stuff. And if you need help, obviously, after installing the software, that's why we give you 6 months of trade room with this subscription. So you can come into the trade room, learn and trade with us, and become an expert at trading magnets and all our other setups. All right? It's not a subscription. It ends in 12 months or 6 months if you don't, take the add-on 6 months. And like I said, we'll happily turn your monthly back on. We are not greedy. We are the nicest people. Okay? The price for the trade room and pro membership, it's really doubling to $197. This offer expires tonight. And I'm dead serious. It's going to expire tonight. You know what is included. I'm done selling. www.magnetstrats.com. One more reminder, lifetime members, email me at help@10minutetrades.com. And thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate all the time that you've all spent with me over the past weeks introducing this magnet software. We love it. It's only going to get better. I'm constantly updating it. We're constantly improving the signals. That is the beauty of software. It's going to be updated over and over and over. Okay? So, thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you, you know where. I'll see you in the trade room tomorrow. So, have a great rest of your day, and thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.